But so that is a generalizable, something that we can generalize from the studies that these 4 groups will do. That you have to address this particular issue. Can we say that the particular interventions that they make are the ones to make always? No. But we can generalize around that big idea. Who can do action research? Individuals and groups. I talked this morning about lesson study. I don't know how many of you have run into Japanese lesson study, but Catherine Lewis and I can't remember his first name, Toshida. She's out at Mills College at Oakland, California, but she's been studying these small communities of practice in Japanese schools where teachers come together to talk about how they teach a particular concept. You can Google Catherine Lewis or just write her at LEWIS, write her at Mills College. There are 3 films that they have, $15 each, won't break the bank. And they really demonstrate what lesson study is. But ultimately, what the work that they're doing results in is an action research study, because they're looking and refining their lessons until they have something that everybody can work with, not step by step, but using key concepts. And of course, teacher research is done by teachers who are trying to understand the life of their classroom. Where does it fit in the whole scheme of research, and particularly of action research? Marilyn Cochran-Smith and Susan Lytle say that all forms of practitioner inquiry that involve systematic, intentional, and self-critical inquiry about one's work in pre-K to 12, higher education, or continuing education, school programs, and other formal education settings can be action research, teacher action research. So it covers I like to talk with teacher educators about action research because I think that we should be doing it ourselves on our own programs, and we should be thinking about how we deliver it to our own students and how we develop that inquiry stance among our own students. My final note, and then we go on, is it's part of every thoughtful teacher's classroom. And let me just give you a list of the kinds of tools that we use constantly. Classroom maps. How many of you have been asked to draw a classroom map in your lifetime? I hope I see all of you. Okay, there you go. Okay, anecdotal records. I mean, I can do tons of things with classroom maps. Once I've got it set up, I can use tissue paper. No, that's me being the old time. I can use, transparencies, lay them right over, put kids' names in it, date it, and just look at conversation. Or I can look at movement flow in the classroom. In most classrooms I go into now, kids are sitting in circles. I can watch who gets called on in them. These are all sorts of things. Kids love doing this kind of stuff. You introduce them to it, kids will collect the data for you. Okay, anecdotal records, easy to do. All I say to my students is make them regular, catch kids being good. Don't just write about the bad things they do. Time-sampled observations, samples of student work. We're all looking at these things all the time. Date them, put them in a file, pull them out once a month and take a look at what you've got. Drawings and photographs. I can't draw to save my life, but I can take pictures. And anybody who's ever been to Reggio Emilia in Italy, the beautiful town where there are these extraordinary early childhood centers, everything is documented in photographs, everything. And a picture's worth 1,000 words. Again, kids love to take pictures. So, audio and video recordings, interviews, sitting down and talking to learners is a critical piece that many teachers never do, but there's so much to learn. I was very pleased yesterday because one set of teachers that I had been working with had actually done a sociogram. And I was just like, oh, this is fabulous. And that just means you have to sit and interview kids. Conversations with students, surveys, and your own journals. Another piece that I think is critical is you have to do writing when you do action research. And one of the things that you have to do is develop the writing muscle. So here's what I suggest to you. If you're thinking about getting into this, 10 minutes a day, every day, even Saturday and Sunday. 10 minutes is not too long. If you go 15 minutes, that's your problem. 10 minutes a day. It's like a muscle. You have to use the muscle every day. But you will find, as you do this, that you begin to be able to track your own thinking about a particular problem, and you also have a record of change that is taking place. It's the most valuable tool. So it's Writer at Mills College. There are 3 films that they have, $15.